Joni Kindle more really wears lots of hats, and I wanted to acknowledge her background. She's an ethnobotanist and a registered nurse and a passionate advocate for climate smart crops such as millet, sorghum, teff, and others. She believes that diversity on the plate drives biodiversity in the fields, which is critical for both human health and growing the regenerative agricultural movement. Joni is the founder of Snacktivist Inc., a consumer-facing brand that makes great tasting, great grain-based foods from climate-smart ingredients from sorghum, millet, and teff. And she's going to share that story a little later today. But Joni, thank you so much for being here, and we're very much honored to have a representation of NAMA and being able to collaborate with NAMA.
Absolutely. It's such a pleasure to be here. Part of I think of founding an organization like NAMA is that you get to meet all these amazing people that have been working on these projects, whether it be genetics, agronomy, awareness, product development, marketing, nutrition. I mean, anytime you can get all of those people at the same party and talk about how we're going to really like change the food system for the better, working collaboratively and working together, it's a very exciting and exhilarating place to be. So I'm thrilled to be here and to represent North American Millets Alliance. I'll tell you a little bit about our history. We came together last year, and it was really spearheaded by Dr. Dawn Osborne, who has a fantastic background. And I'm going to go ahead and just share a slide here that will give you some contact information. So if you'd like to reach out to us and learn some more, you have the things at your disposal that you need. So hopefully you can see that okay. So North American Millets Alliance was really kind of a brainchild of Dr. Dawn Osborne, who is a fantastic researcher, has spent significant time working and living in Africa and in Asia. And then his colleague, Dr. Jonathan Landak, who also had a similar background, both professors, both had spent significant time overseas and had an early awakening to what diversity on the plate could mean when it comes to grains and the grain sector. We're growing up here in the United States, like me, I grew up in rural Oregon. It was wheat and corn, and that's it. So for me, this was like a later in life exploration when I was old enough to start shopping at health food stores and was that curious shopper back in the late 80s that said, what is this little thing in the bulk bin at the health food store? What is it? And of course, there was no Google back then. So I had to go to the encyclopedia and actually look up millet. And that I remember that first time I ever tried it and learned about the history of proso millet. And I was hooked from that point on. So Dawn and Jonathan and I synced up last year and said, okay, we've got this International Year of Millet coming, and this is going to be a huge awakening globally to really shine a spotlight on this significant family of crops. And Joanna did such a fantastic job leading us through really all the reasons to believe in why millets are an amazing crop for human nutrition and for agricultural reasons. I'm not going to repeat that because Joanna just does such an incredible job. And so we decided, what is needed to really piggyback this because the International Year of Millets was doing a lot of work, and India has been a real champion in kind of leading the charge about awareness and public awareness around International Year of Millets. So we decided, Dawn had already launched a website. It's here, Millets 2023 Space, and he also hosts a listserv. So if you would like to get synced up with any of those things, in addition to, I'll tell you about our meetings and some of the other things we're working on, these are the emails to reach out. But other people also lean in on that inbox. It's not specifically mine. And you're always welcome to reach out to me at joni@snacktivistfoods.com as well. But we came together to really address three foundational things that we felt needed to happen in North America for the UN Year of Millets. So I'm just rolling this up. The three things that we identified that were really lacking in the millets industry was one, just building a community. It's like if you host a party and you invite all these diverse people to come to the table, it's amazing what you can learn. And it's amazing what synergies naturally start to grow out of an organization when you literally just get all the people who are working in a space in the same place, talking about the passionate, topic that we all love, which is how do we get more millet on the plate and in the field in North America? we immediately identified that, as Joanna alluded to as well, there is significant need for market development. So in addition to building this community around NAMA, we do know that there is a specific need to work on market development and market channels, as well as all of the value-added infrastructure. And I'll talk about that more when I do give a little deeper dive into Snacktivist and our work there. I'm going to use some examples of some barriers we've had getting product from field to market because of lack of infrastructure. And so again, bringing all these people together that work in the millet space, we can start to draw those links of like, okay, we've got farming happening here, but we have dehulling happening here, and cleaning and milling and processing, and bring it all together. And lastly, especially with both Dr. Osborne and Dr. Landak being professors, we have a strong emphasis on providing education. Now, we are hosting a webinar series that is throughout the year, where we're inviting all of these fantastic and diverse people who have joined our NAMA community to give segments about their topic of interest or their topic of expertise. So we've just begun this process. We're actually still doing a call for speakers, because we want to make sure that anyone who's hiding out there and has a fantastic story to tell has a platform in which to tell it. And that's something that we're really passionate about. When you're building a category around a new food group, it really takes an army of people to come together and work together to make that category creation happen. So the educational components are significant. If you're in the business side of things, education's expensive. We call it marketing. And but that's just a continuous process that's going to happen all year during International Year of Millets, but also moving forward into the future. So that's really what NAMA is working on right now. We have built a community very, very quickly. We've been very thrilled with the enthusiastic response from many different stakeholders. And so, we're also in the process of building some focus groups where people can get together. And if they just want to talk genetics, then they can talk genetics, because there's it's the Wild West. If you're a plant geneticist or a plant breeder, millets are literally like the Wild West of cereal genetics right now, because they've been relatively unexplored and relatively unexploited. Where corn and wheat, for instance, have been just exhaustively researched. So there's not as much new and novel work to be done there. So also, if you're interested in value-added processing, or you like to do manufacturing, we're trying to create a focus group for those folks too. And there are many, many different focus groups. So if you'd like to get involved, I'm going to scroll back up again. Make sure you jot those the website down, and please find us on Facebook, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great spot, and then just feel free to reach out to any of us at these emails below. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it along. You'll have to hear more from me later, and we'll finish up on the same topic, but through the lens of my work as the founder and CEO of Snacktivist. So thank you.